Welcome to Cravings Control for Fat Loss. I'm your host, Laura Cavallo, former sugar binger, overeater, and yo-yo dieter turned fat loss and cravings coach for hundreds of busy women. Here at Cravings Control for Fat Loss, I'll be sharing mindset, movement, and metabolism strategies for those who are ready to ditch the fat diet cycle and slim down without counting calories, tracking points, or giving up any of the foods they love. Get ready to embrace progress over perfection, grace over guilt, and bring curiosity and learning to the inevitable ups and downs of your life. Expect a decrease in your cravings while seeing and feeling an improvement in how you look, how you feel, and your overall quality of life. I am so excited you're here, boo. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Cravings Control for Fat Loss. My name is Laura Cavallo, your cravings coach. And today I have a very special and exciting episode. And I don't know why it's so special, but it is exciting because I love talking about this topic so much. I think it's because I never realized how much sleep impacted my cravings and my hunger until I started educating myself on A, sleep, but B, also observing when I was craving more, when I was eating more, when I was binging more. And personally for me, being fatigued and being sleep deprived and being sleep irritable is one of the main times that I am mindlessly snacking and eating all day and hungry all day. So let's talk a little bit about the science behind why hunger and cravings increase when you are more fatigued and more tired. So the two hormones we're going to look at right now are leptin and ghrelin. Now, leptin has a lot of functions in the human body, but one of them is to signal fullness. Okay, so this is related to hunger. So when we are more tired or fatigued, this fullness signal actually downregulates. So we don't actually feel full. We actually tend to just be more hungry. So that leptin signal downregulates. The other hormone that's impacted is ghrelin, and ghrelin actually increases, meaning that we tend to feel more hungry all the time. Now, ghrelin is that hormone that is synonymous with the phrase, your stomach is growling, and it's related to ghrelin. It's actually spelled Ghrelin, ghrelin. So those are the two hormones that are impacted the most when we feel tired, we feel fatigued, and we feel sleepy. Now, how to know if you're getting enough quality sleep? Most people need between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep per night. A good way to know if you're getting good quality sleep is if you feel tired in the morning and throughout the day, it means that you are not getting enough or quality sleep. And those are actually the two things we want to be looking at. We want to be looking at length of sleep and the quality of that sleep. Now, some people can function on less sleep, but not everyone. Most people need at least that 7 to 9. And we need that quality sleep where we're falling asleep pretty easy, we're staying asleep throughout the night, we're not being disrupted, and we can wake up easily. So today I want to share 10 simple tips that can help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and really increase your sleep quality. So let's dive into them. Number 1 is to avoid caffeine within 10 hours of bedtime. That means if you're going to bed at 10, then no caffeine after noon. Now, there are some people who metabolize caffeine faster, and you can have an espresso at 8 o'clock at night and then go to bed an hour later. But for some of us who don't metabolize caffeine as quickly, and there's an actual gene expression that, if you do like a 23andMe, there's actual gene that will tell you if you metabolize caffeine faster or slower. But if you don't metabolize it as fast, then you want to allow at least 10 hours between bedtime and your last caffeine drink. So I know for myself, I can't have caffeine after 3 p.m. It would probably be better for me to do 2 p.m., but I've gone even as late as 4 p.m. and been okay. But sleep is like one of my most important things in my life. And if I'm not getting good sleep, I am the worst. So I really do try and avoid a second cup of coffee if I have to after 2 p.m. The second thing that you can do to help you have better quality sleep is to actually view bright light first thing in the morning for 15 minutes. Now, this isn't directly into your eyeballs, but you do want to catch some brightness in the morning, whether you're opening the blinds or sitting by a window or even taking a walk. This actually helps your circadian rhythm sync up to the light patterns of the day. Okay. And that is actually how I had an interview with Dr. Laura Gouge. She said that she struggled with insomnia for most of her life. So what she had to do is actually help her body sync up with the circadian rhythm of the day, with the sun rising and the sun setting. And she actually was able to take herself out of that insomnia pattern and actually have better quality sleep. So you can actually sync up your circadian rhythm with the light of the day. So you can do that by viewing bright light in the morning within 15 minutes. And then this might be another tip I have on here, but another part that goes hand in hand with this is avoiding bright lights in the evenings. So once the sun goes down, switch to lamps versus overhead lights. You can wear blue blockers if you're watching TV or using your computer or your phone. You can also do, a friend of mine, Morgan, she helped me create a shortcut on my phone. So if I do 3 clicks on the right button, the background of my phone actually turns red. And that allows less strain on my eyes. And it takes away that blue light that can impact melatonin production, which is how we are able to fall asleep and stay asleep. So you can actually go to accessibility in your phone and change that setting to your backlight turning red with the shortcut of the 3 clicks on the right. So that's a little hack. So the third thing that we want to do is to avoid eating too close to bedtime. This is going to allow you to have better quality rest. So if your stomach is full with food and your stomach's trying to digest food, it's actually going to keep you up. And you may have experienced this if you go to bed really full or ate too close to bedtime, then your sleep is going to be disrupted. So I suggest having your last meal at least 2 hours before you lay down. Number 4 is to create a sleep routine that is relaxing. Okay, you can do this by taking a warm bath, a warm shower, listening to music, reading, and limiting artificial sunlight from phones and TVs at least 1 to 2 hours before sleep. This is also not a time to have important conversations with your partner about finances or an argument or a fight. This is also not the time to be responding to emails or to be trying to do anything that's stressful or anxiety inducing right before bed. Think of this as like a very important and delicate time for yourself to prepare you for rest and for sleep. Hey, it's Laura again. I'm interrupting the podcast to ask you for a quick favor. If you're enjoying today's episode, I'd so appreciate it if you could hit pause right now and give us a 5-star rating. Your support means a lot to me, and it helps this podcast reach more men and women that need to hear this information. Thank you again so much, and enjoy the rest of this episode. Number 5 is, if you find your mind racing, you can opt to make a list of things you need to get done. I know that you can't do anything about them now because now is the time for sleep. So I know a lot of people struggle with falling asleep because there's a lot on their mind, they're stressed, they're anxious. So one way to alleviate this is to make a list of things maybe you need to do the next day. You can journal, you can pray, you can meditate, and just know I can't do anything about these things right now. And even if I could, I need to dedicate this time to sleep so I can wake up tomorrow morning and be my best version of myself so that I can complete all these things that are on my list tomorrow. So finding a way to quiet the mind right before bed is going to be really beneficial if you're someone that struggles with that stress, that anxiety of going to sleep or during bedtime rather. So let's talk about number 6, which is sleep aids. Sleep aids like melatonin can be used to help you fall asleep, but they shouldn't be relied on for consistent use. You can try things like a calming tea or aromatherapy oils. Calming teas that I like are peppermint, chamomile, or lavender for before bed. You can use the same type of essential oils in a diffuser, or you can put some on your hands and breathe them in. Now, our body actually produces natural melatonin. So if you're able to, again, view bright light in the morning and avoid bright lights at night, then you will help facilitate the natural production of melatonin in your body, and you won't have to rely on it so much. The 7th tip for better sleep is, this is just for some people, not everyone, but for some people, avoid exercising in the evening hours as it can increase energy, it can boost metabolism, and it can make you more alert and awake. So just be aware how you respond to exercise. If it gives you more energy, then try and avoid exercising at least 5 hours before bedtime. The 8th thing you can do to help improve sleep quality is to maintain a consistent sleep schedule, both during the week and on the weekends. Now, I know that this is really hard. I know a lot of you like to stay up late on the weekends and enjoy time with your partner or with your friends, or just have more time for yourself. But just know that if you get really off track on the weekends with sleep, and by off track, I mean, say you're going to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock during the week, right? And then on the weekends, you're going to bed at 1. That is a huge time change. And I bet that Sunday and Monday night, you have a really hard time going to sleep. You feel a lot more tired. So a good rule of thumb is try to stay within a 1-hour block. Okay. It's not going to be perfect all the time. Maybe you can try to do it just for Friday night and not Saturday night. Now, just try and be more aware of this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just know that you want to try and limit the discrepancy in the bedtime that you're doing between the week and the weekends. You don't want a huge 4, 5, 6 hour gap where on Friday, Saturday, you're going to bed 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And then on Sunday through Thursday, you're trying to get to bed in 10 to wake up for a 6 o'clock wake up call. So just be aware. You want to try and keep it within that 1-hour time block. Maintaining a consistent sleep schedule is going to help increase the quality of your sleep and help you have more restful sleep. Number 9 is to relieve some stress at night. And I know we talked a little bit about having a sleep routine and being able to relax before you go to bed. But just know that a lot of us deal with chronic stress, and having stressful days is totally normal. But when it comes at the expense of our sleep, now we're adding disrupted sleep on top of stress, and that is going to make for a really unhealthy lifestyle. So we really do want to try to put things aside and de-stress as much as possible so we can have restful sleep. Some suggestions for you when it comes to relieving stress is to journal. You can pray, you can meditate, you can cry, you can sing, you can write, you can talk to someone, and my personal favorite, you can even orgasm, okay? Orgasm is one of the best ways to relieve stress. You can do it with someone, you can do it alone, and I know some people get a little bashful when it comes to things relating to intimacy and sex, but I think we need to normalize that sex is an important part of our lives. And for some people, it's more important than others, but it is definitely something that helps to relieve stress. There's actually a flush of cortisol when we orgasm, and it can help relax us. So keep that in mind. So number 10, my personal favorite, this is a technique for helping you fall asleep. Now, this is where you're visualizing in your third eye. So your eyes are closed, the space between both of your eyes. Imagine yourself doing something relaxing, like swimming in a lake or walking in a forest or flying in the sky, okay? Or something that's like maybe a little bit more fantasy or a little bit more calming and relaxing, something that can just take your imagination away, and your imagination can fly with it. If you're thinking about what you have to do tomorrow, what happened today, and the work thing you have to do, and the kids, those things are not relaxing. And above all, even if they are relaxing, you're still thinking about what you actually have to do. And so your mind is still racing about to-dos, and you're not going to be able to fall asleep. We fall asleep when our mind is calm, when our mind can just be in the moment, in the present state, without thinking about the future, the past, or what needs to be done. So really try and place yourself within the present moment. You've heard people say, count sheep. right? Or count backwards. This is the same concept, is that you're just placing yourself in that moment, in that time. So those are 10 tips that I have to improve your quality of sleep for less cravings and better fat loss results. Let me know if this was helpful at all and which one you're going to start to try doing this week coming up. Go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram at Laura Cavallo __cravings_coach. My last name is spelled C as in Charlie, A as in Apple, V as in Victor, A as in Apple, LLO, Cavallo. Thanks for listening in, and I'll see you on the next episode.